Today we're going to show you 3 ways to rig up a paddle tail swim bait. Paddle tail swim baits. These guys are awesome. They catch you a lot of fish. There's 3 ways that I like to rig them up. I'm going to show you those 3 ways right here. And as I go over each one, I'll show you guys exactly why I do it that way. So the first way that I actually like to rig a paddle tail swim bait is Texas rig. Now, I don't see a lot of people do this in my area. I'm curious, leave a comment down below if you guys rig it up this way, but I don't see this often. And most of the bodies of water that I'm fishing where I'm from are primarily covered in weeds, or they have a lot of just cover in general. So I like to fish it this way because it keeps me weedless, but it also gives it a different action. When most people aren't fishing it this way, it allows me to kind of give that fish a different presentation. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a paddle tail swim bait. Now the hook size and how you guys do this is going to be determined on the paddle tail swim bait that you're using. This is a 4.7 inch paddle tail swim bait right here. This is the Biospawn ExoSwim. This is my favorite go-to swim bait. Right here I have a 5/0 EWG hook. Make sure you use an EWG hook because this is important. So if you guys are new to this, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take this bait and we're just gonna put that tip of that hook through the top of our swim bait. From there, we're gonna take it down, bring it all the way to the cut in that hook and turn our hook around backwards. So it looks like this. Now all we're gonna do is we're gonna tuck the tip of that hook through the paddle tail swim bait. Just have it flush with the top of the ExoSwim. And what's cool about this particular swim bait, the ExoSwim, is it actually has a channel in there, so that hook hides perfectly in there. This is gonna allow your bait to be weedless. And the reason that we went with a big EWG hook was just to allow more hook exposure when that fish bites. So that's why I'm using an EWG. If you guys use just a straight shank, it's not gonna expose that hook enough to get a really good hook set. So what I'll do is I will use it Texas rig like this, and then I will just pair it with a bullet weight. That's what I'm doing here. Those two together make a killer combo for me, keeps that bait weedless. You can get that bait to move a little bit faster because it's weighted, and you can also fish it a little bit deeper. And when you get deeper in that water column, you can get a really good belly roll out of a swim bait while it's Texas rigged. Another go-to for me when it comes to rigging a paddle tail swim bait is by using a Screwlock swim bait hook. So this hook right here is really cool. It's like a mix between an EWG as well as an underspin and like a shaky head. So to rig this guy up, you can buy these hooks by the pack right here. They come just like this. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna take that screw and you're gonna screw it into the top of your swim bait. So now that we have that bait connected to that screw lock, we are ready to stick that hook through the bottom. We're gonna do it just like the Texas rig. We're just gonna tuck that hook through the belly of the bait and come out into that channel on top. So there you have it. We're all rigged up, ready to go. It's very similar to rigging up a shaky head, and you got the weight down here in the hook, which is going to allow that bait to sit the right way. But what I like about this setup right here is that you got the flash in the bottom of the bait with that underspin. And it's really just gonna fire up the bite when you're fishing in that clearer water, in that deeper water where there's a lot of weeds, a lot of grass. This is my go-to. The last way that I like to rig up a paddle tail swim bait is pretty traditional. You just go to the store, grab yourself one of your favorite swim bait hooks, and you're just gonna thread this guy through the bait and you'll be good to go. So to do this, take your swim bait head, take your paddle tail swim bait, thread it in the top right there. These have hook keepers on here so you can keep that bait nice locked down and tight. Push it up, and boom, there you go, you're done. I would say this is probably the easiest way to do it. If you guys look closely here, it looks like a copy of like a little bait fish, so that's really cool. I try to fish this in the deeper water, kind of more open water scenarios, simply because you have that hook exposed on this presentation, but works great as well. So there you guys have it. There's 3 different ways you can rig up a paddle tail swim bait. It's always good to just have a few options in the boat or at the pond with you. It's great to just have options. That's the best thing I could say. So hopefully you guys can put these to use. I really hope it ups your bass fishing game. Hey, if you guys are new here, consider hitting that subscribe button. If you just want to learn more about bass fishing, you're going to find it here, and I'll see you next time.